What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Ginn podcast. It's your host, Gilbert Sanchez. If you're viewing this right now on YouTube, I'm pretty sure by now you've seen the newest intro for the podcast. Some dope ass fucking guests over the past 5 years. And yeah, it's been a fucking grind these past 5 years. This is season 5, episode 1. And I wanted to kick this off with, first and foremost, a guest that back when I first started this, I think our paths crossed our paths crossed, and from there we just kind of peeped game from afar. And, it was one of those things where you just admire things they're doing on the outside beyond the fucking content. So it was one of those things where I was like, this person is number one for season 5, 100%. But me and ChatGPT did the intro, and I told this guest that I did the intro for him. But let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
Today's guest is not just a content creator. He's a visionary, a storyteller, and the heartbeat behind one of the most creative brands, not only in San Antonio, Texas, but on social media, period. From crazy-ass visuals to real talk motivation, him and his team, shout out Skrills, has built a platform more than just content. It's literally a fucking movement. Whether if he's behind the lens or in front of it, everything he touches has one thing in common: authenticity. So if you're a creator, a dreamer, or someone trying to carve out your own way, I promise you, you're going to find a lot of game within this episode. None other than Mazi.
Yo,
what's good?
What's going on, man?
How you like that intro?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm fighting. Don't get a little tight. But nah, that was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I really appreciate those kind words, man. It really means a lot because for sure, like taking this route and trying to be authentic and, taking this craft serious. It does take a toll on us creators, you know what I mean? Because we want, like you said, I remember seeing in the post, you were talking about, being perfect.
Yeah.
And striving for perfection. That's me to the T. And I know we can't. You know what I mean? We're such nitpickers. And even with the brand like the OCD creates, like that's literally us to the T, just trying to nitpick and make sure things come out perfect. But we just still put them out to the world and just hopefully people like it for what it is. And that really means a lot. We take our craft serious. And
yeah, man,
this was dope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Like I said, when I was telling you before, I wish Skrills was here, man. He's part of the team.
Yeah, he's definitely here in spirit for sure.
Behind Mazi'S world. And man, he's funny. It's funny. He's just one of them people. He just like, his work just says shit like you already know.
For sure.
Just the person he is just by the fucking work. And I remember the first time I actually saw the platform and I was trying to digest, like, what the fuck did I just see? Like, I was on a level to where I was releasing podcast episodes and the graphics and the video was damn near shit quality, but I was just putting shit out just because I wanted to create something. And I knew if I started with just putting something out and having practice, that it was just going to keep getting better. And then fucking, I see y'all's platform and I'm like, man, what the fuck? But looking from afar, it's just so dope to see. I'm sure there's a ton of fucking years grinding with however he makes these visuals come to life, and you as well, however, just being comfortable in front of the camera. There was one thing I saw maybe a couple of years ago where I didn't realize how far or how long you were doing this. And you were actually on a, correct me the name, I'm not bringing up the name, but you're actually on a podcast platform before Mazi'S World.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of it?
Cheap Suits.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And when did you start with him? Like episode 1, and then when did you kind of branch off? Or
so I started with Star doing Cheap Suits after leaving a previous collective, and I was playing the background, like I wasn't doing any type of mic work or nothing like that. So we just decided. He came to me and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna try to do this podcast, kind of a comedy podcast, and just talking shit. We a lot of cuss, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I cuss all the time.
Yeah, kind of talk shit and just giving our opinions or whatever, right? And you know, are you down? I was like, yeah, sure. And we started that. Can't remember exactly what year per se, but it was a while back. And I was episode 1 with him all the way up to 194 episodes. And that's when I decided to kind of start my own thing because some of my peers and friends and family was like, yo, what you're doing is dope, but I kind of want to hear more from you in your opinions. And I'm like, okay, well, let's try it out. And I still kind of wanted to, you know, still be along with Cheap Suits, but unfortunately, you know, we kind of just went our different, you know, different ways. And I started with Mazi'S World, just hitting the gas and started doing my own thing. And then here we are, 114 episodes.
I know, man. It's crazy.
With Mazi'S World. And yeah, and time flew by.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, head down grinding, you know?
I visually remember, and I recently put this on a video, and it was a screenshot, and I have it saved in a folder, dog, just because it just means so much to me just because of the work I put into it. But Skrills had sent me a message, and it just said, like, dude, I'll paraphrase it. It's just like, dude, I love what you're doing. We actually stepped into the podcast lane just because of the shit you're doing.
Absolutely, 1,000%. I was going to tell you that too.
Yeah, but y'all obviously doing on a different level. But it just words like that. I'm like, dude, this was back in, I want to say summer of 21, and
yeah,
I fuck, dude, from I want to say 2021, from I want to like April to maybe November of that year. I maybe missing a couple weeks in between, but I did a fucking podcast damn near every fucking week. And it just goes back to that practice thing for me.
Yeah.
And man, once he said that, because by that time I already had knew of y'all. And man, that just set my world on fire. Sounds kind of weird glazing the shit out of y'all right now, but
I'll be honest, 1,000. But what Skrill says is 1,000%. Like we was looking for content creators here in the city who were kind of doing what we're doing, and you were definitely on that list. We was like, oh, what Ginn is doing is dope, because what you bring is quality. Yep. And when it comes to this podcast game, let's be real, there's a lot of podcasts out here that doesn't have the quality and the content and to really get into what you talk about and what you bring to the table. And we was like, yo, if we're going to be a part of that conversation and sit at these tables of high quality,
just content creation
in general, you know what I mean? Yeah. We want to be a part of that table. And you were at that table. He was like, we want to get over there with Ginn, you know what I'm saying?
I think if you're not making videos and they're not quality as far as 1080p, 4K in 2025, dog, what the fuck are you doing, man? I think there's just so much software right now. It's to an extent, it might be inexpensive depending on how your budget is, but man, I've had these 2 cameras that we're looking at right now for 5 years. And 1, when I started, I didn't know how to use them. And 2, I know how to use them now. So I'm like, fuck, dude, let me just put out some quality content. It looked badass back then. And I just, like I said, I was just putting shit out there, having no fucking idea what I was doing.
But you were doing it though. And that's all that matters. The fact that you did it. Because nobody wants to play the what if game years down the line and be like, well, damn, what if I would have actually, you know, put some content out there, you know? Yeah. There's a quote that DJ Jazzy Jeff has said, you know, die empty. And, you know, you want to make sure you do everything before you go, because you don't ever want to be, you know, Lord forbid, on your deathbed and being like, damn, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. If you die empty, there's nothing to think about. You've done it all, you know?
That was me, literally. But I want to transition.
Oh, damn, I forgot about that situation, man. Oh my God.
Nah, you're good. Wow. I'm just fucking with you. I said on purpose. Fuck. Dude, so on this, I mean, obviously you've seen the platform, you've seen the podcast. Yeah. On this platform, man, we get deep. So talk about before Cheap Suits, talk about before Mazi'S World. Like what was, I mean, you don't have to go too deep, but like what were you doing before? I mean, what got you into like content creation? And I mean, how'd you and fucking Skrills link up? I want to know that story.
So I used to be a music producer, man, and making beats, making with artists in the city. Yeah. And shout out to Gex, man, graphic designer. He was starting a collective, and Skrills happened to be an engineer, but he also rapped at the time. And which not many people know.
Skrills fucking rap. This man is.
I know he's gonna be so mad at me. He's gonna be so mad. But yeah, Skrills used to rap, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he's dope. That's the crazy part. He has the voice and everything. And it was me, Shout out my dog Big Q, Smooch as well. Yeah, we started a collective, man, and it was all put together by Gex. And that's how Skrills and I linked, was on, on the music scene. And yeah, we've been tight since. And then
So how long has that been? How long is that?
oh my God.
20 years? I'm guessing at this point. I don't know.
Definitely 10 plus years. I would say maybe 2014, 2015, maybe. That's when we first, linked up. And yeah, just me chasing the music dream. Shout out to the OG Question who you had on the show.
Yeah.
Gave me plenty of opportunities for in the past as far as placements and anything like that. I know I talk about this a lot, but it's like definitely a milestone for me. But like one of the biggest parts of as far as placements were concerned, one was me winning a contest to get a placement for Havoc for Mobb Deep when he was working on the solo project. Even though that didn't come into fruition, that kind of sucked. And then Sean Money XL, the guy behind 50's Get Rich or Die Trying.
Oh shit, yeah.
He heard my shit and he told me I was dope. So after that, it was like, yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Like, like I'm nice out here. You know what I mean?
Everybody else is shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Dude, I'm gonna go home and look up everything. Try to find Skrills rapping. I don't care what it is. This dude is multi-dimension.
It's out there. You just gotta find it, man. I'm not gonna tell you where. Maybe off camera, I'll show you. I'll let y'all play some stuff. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. Bro. So yeah, he used to rap.
That's crazy.
And so and yeah, so I was chasing music dream.
Yeah.
Was working with a rap group, another collective as well, and it sucked because I don't like saying that I wasted my time, but I felt like I wasted time.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, I don't know if you've ever been in a position where it kind of is feeling like you growing up with certain people, right? You grow up with a certain group of friends, and then when you realize it's kind of like they're going on different paths, and you definitely are more maturing, and you're like, this is not going to work out. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I felt. I gave them so much of my time, sacrificing time, even because I was working as well.
Yeah.
So when they would be like, yo, we're going to work on this project, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll put in a PTO for an entire week off. So that way we can work on said project. They didn't take the week off, but guess who did? Me.
Yes.
And that could have been money. Yes, I did get paid, but still, I'm sacrificing my time away from my family to work on something that I thought we was going to work on together. But that just kind of just goes to show you how much I believed in what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like they didn't believe in themselves as much as I believed in them. You know what I mean?
Can you say some names, some at names? Nah,
I ain't gonna do
some
that.
people on blast. Nah, it sucks, man. Because you I don't know how far back this was, but yeah, man, you just grow. That's
it's all it is. It's just growth, man. And yeah, so I got into the content creating game, and fast forward with the podcast starting with, like I said, with Cheap Suits, and it was cool. It kind of got me in trouble. It got me in trouble a lot, actually.
What you mean?
A lot of sexual talk.
On theirs?
Yeah, on there. Yeah.
I've seen like maybe once or two of their episodes. I actually recently just started following them. I didn't realize they're on like close to like 400. I think like 350 or something.
They grinding over there for sure. Yeah. They're really putting in work. Although it was fun creating content and just talking shit with the guys, I still got to go home, and then I ain't got to sleep on the couch that night. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm afraid for the podcast episode to come out because I got to deal with the missus over here and be like, I heard what you said on there. Yeah, you're on the couch with Bella. And then here go me and Bella on the couch together sleeping underneath me. And like, yeah, I can't,
I never try to just go out of, I'm sure I'm an introvert at heart, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking homebody. You can ask this guy over here. I would decline every invitation just to be at fucking home. I swear. I promise I would.
You said early.
I go to sleep like 9 to 10:30, and dude, it's one of those things, man. I just don't like doing shit.
That's funny because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Even though you can't tell, because I love. It seems like I love talking to people, but before, like, it's funny because like even with the OCD, Skrills was like, no, you're the front guy, and being in front of the camera and all that, I used to get nervous. Like she'll tell you. Whenever we're out of places, I'm like, yo, don't turn the light on too bright.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? You're the guy.
Yeah.
You got to be the guy. And I'm like, I don't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I do, but like, let's turn the light. Nowadays, I'm just like, yo, cut the lights on. Like, let's knock this shit out. You know what I mean?
I'm still like that, dude.
Yeah.
I'll be in the corner. Damn. Yeah, I've been trying to vlog lately, and man, I had to stop, dude, just because one is time consuming, and two, I can feel people looking at me. I'm like,
and it does feel weird, right?
Yeah, it feels weird. I'm just, biggest thing is just at the gym, just because I do go, but Other places, man, I'm just not comfortable. And I don't know, it could be for a ton of reasons. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still on the opposite side, man. I don't know if I ever change, but um,
I hear you.
yeah, when you got into content creation,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say was one of the hardest things getting into it that you realize either in the beginning or shit even now or
Man, I'll be honest. It's getting used to being in front of the camera and kind of talking to, people next to me. And
yeah.
there's been episodes where, guys are, like you said, they really don't talk much. So trying to pull questions and, certain answers out of them and things like that. It's almost like being a psychiatrist in a sense.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
That's fucking, yeah,
You know?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's probably maybe the hardest thing for me, per se, because getting in front of the camera is basically doing reps. I mean, just getting in front of here and just getting comfortable with questions and things of that nature. And it just takes time. But other than that, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love it, but it's also scary at the same time because I do think about the past where we are maybe 4 years in.
Mhm.
It's going to be eventually where, do I want to do this for a living? Absolutely. That'll be great. But time goes by and I feel like the clock's ticking a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm pushing 40 and
Damn.
I don't want to, what that mean? What that mean? Jay? Hold on.
I feel the same way, dog. I feel the same way.
Yeah, so I'm
to an extent. I mean, I'm not pushing 40. But.
No, I'm pushing 40, man. So I'm kind of like, damn, like where does it end? You know, like in the music business, of course. At first, I was like, yo, J. Cole, Jay-Z, all them, Kanye dropped their first album at 26. If I don't make it by this time,
so I still got time.
Yeah, I still got time at that point. And then now we here, but it's also I feel like the game's changed too because I feel like there's no age limit now. It's just as long as you're putting out dope content and you're consistent with what you got to say and how it looks.
Oh, that is true, man. Because this might sound weird, but I see a lot of old fucking people grinding on TikTok, and they get
making
views.
A killing
yeah,
too.
They get views. Just old couples.
Right.
I seen this old couple just like film their day in the life, millions of views. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. So that's true. I didn't realize that, man. You can literally be any age and fucking pop off.
My mom, she's saying, hi, Mom. I know she's watching. She follows this couple that left the States and moved to Thailand. And they started a YouTube channel, just day in the life, living in Thailand.
Yeah.
Day, whatever, number. And then she's like, oh, I'm convinced I'm moving to Thailand. I'm like, how long you been following this vlog channel, Mom? But I'm looking at the channel. I'm like, oh, this is just the average couple, just moving out there and just filming. It's not like they in their 20s or 30s. And I think they're probably in their 40s, 50s and just documenting life out in Thailand, living, moving from the States.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
you can get to it at any time, any age, man.
I'm gonna keep grinding, bro. Thanks,
Same.
Man.
No, for sure.
Thanks,
Keep going.
I wanted to. So you're at this, in my eyes, top number one podcast. I would say in San Antonio.
Thank you.
I don't know.
I think you number one. That's crazy. and I'm like no bullshit.
I don't know. I don't know the stats literally, but yeah, man. Like, and it got a lot to do with just the visuals too. But on top of that, you bring out, I'm going to take it back to, recently you just hit 1 million views or 1 million plus on, I think, a Kendrick Lamar video that you did. But it's just your character, in my eyes, that attracted so many people's eyes. And it was just that first clip. And whoever's idea was that.
Shout out Screws.
That was just fucking genius because obviously people were watching it, kept watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to a certain point, and maybe you can agree with it or not, at least for me. But I start to think sometimes that I'm not that guy. And it's just a replay over and over in your head. In my head, I'm sorry. Do you feel like that sometimes? Imposter syndrome. Do you feel like you have that?
It's yes and no, because you do get caught up in the game on clickbait, if you will.
Yeah.
Where there is a science to this game. They say you have X amount of seconds to capture somebody's attention. So whether it's you saying something that captures their attention for them to stay and listen or see what you got going on, or they move on. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there is a science to it. And there's times where we throw up, reels and it's like, this was like, oh yeah, we got a dope reel, let's throw it up. And it may get like, like 1,500 views, 1,500, 2,000 views. And it's like, oh, okay, we're still chasing this 1.5 million view ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is kind of, frustrating at times. But then you got to remember to yourself, like, this is a part of the process. As long as you're being consistent and keep putting footage out there, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me, man. I'm just one of those guys that always, like, I peep everything. I have a bad problem, but I never say shit. Like, I probably can talk so much shit, but I just don't say shit. Just because I peep game and just like sit back afar and just like, man.
I think you do say shit, just not in front of like the camera or like, off camera back at the crib and just be like,
maybe. I'm trying to think.
Because I do it. I do it. I'll be honest. Like, I'll watch your stuff and I see you talking. You'll have something like really, in deep thought, and you'll say some shit and I'm kind of like at home and I'm like, why don't I think of anything like that? You know what I mean? How come I can't think of something this thought provoking and just sounds so cool while saying it? Because you got this smooth voice, and I'm just kind of like, damn. Like, sometimes I want to change my voice and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, this is Mazi'S world. And then here go, that's not you. Stop.
Nah, man. Sometimes this is gonna sound weird. This is gonna put myself out there, but I use fucking, like I was saying before off camera, I use ChatGPT fucking damn near everything now.
Yeah.
Why
not? Do
you use it?
I just started to.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I just started to use it whenever they did the image generation. So I put out a post where it had like different like materials.
Yeah.
Bro. I had people hitting me up like, damn, your fucking Photoshop game is on fire. I'm like, nah, man. That's AI, dog. That's not me. I swear that's AI. I wish that could be. I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but yeah, man. I was gonna say though, just like building up scripts, man. Just scripts in these videos. I struggle with ideas. I know I have them like in my head. I'll probably put a sentence in there, and then it will generate something, and then I copy. And then I put my own twist on it, like something that I would actually say. Like I put cuss words in. I don't put the cuss words, like write them down, but I'll say the cuss words. So it's just like shit like that I think just off the top. Or if it just comes natural, like I'll read something and I'll just go free flow. So it's 50-50 sometimes, but AI is fucking crazy nowadays.
No, it is. It's definitely beneficial if you use it correctly. Because there are some times where I feel like people can get lazy with it and just literally copy things word for word, like some plagiarism shit, and it's just kind of like. So like I know whenever I started using it, I basically fill out my own questionnaire on how I would want, something structured. Yeah. And I would read it, and I'm like, okay, let me try to reword it how I, like you said, I would word it, and then do it like that. Yeah. But there is a lot of times where I freestyle a lot of stuff. Like recently when we had a famous Lil Ginn on the show. Yeah. That was me just being a fan and just literally just asking shit that I think a typical normal person would. Yeah. So I think it just depends on who the person is. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy though nowadays that what the fuck you can actually do, man.
No, for sure.
It is quick too. I think I was reading a tweet for the owner, the CEO of, it's called OpenAI, the people that make fucking ChatGPT. He said between when they released the image generator, I want to say like within 24 hours, 1 million new users. And when they first released it, fuck, dude, I don't remember. It was a couple years ago. It took them 6 months to get 1 million users. So people were just
word of mouth is crazy.
That or something, man.
This is something, a marketing team or something, man. I don't know.
I knew when it came out last month. I knew it caught my eye. So I'm sure people were just going in there fucking just asking for stupid ass shit. Right. Creating images. So
yeah, I saw shout out Ricky, man. He started doing like somebody from the south side of San Antonio. Yeah. Make a more south side. Even like the biggest south side food of San Antonio. And then like there would be this crazy image of like someone post up in front of like Diana's Burgers or something like that. Oh, yeah. On a low rider on Dayton and shit. And so
Ricky is
the owner of El Camino.
Okay. I recently just saw him actually this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Not in person, but just scrolling.
Yeah.
I guess he's doing something with Cruising Kitchens.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot his name.
Cameron Davies?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, they got some shit cooking.
It looks dope, though, whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Big-ass fucking spot. So I'm sure they got some cooking.
Nah, for sure.
All right, man. We're in the middle of this. So I'm gonna transition back to my structure that I have here
Let's
because
do it.
we've been going off the fucking wall with just random shit.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
But I always like this question because it's different for a lot of people, and I think going back, you mentioned question earlier. I think when we did it, he at actually Davies Entertainment Spot little podcast set they have there. He fucking put success on this like pedestal for me that I was just like, what the fuck? That is a crazy ass answer. Like just crazy. I didn't even know what to say. I was stumbling when when he asked me this when he asked me what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But success for you, man. I know you're reaching that age you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But what do you think success is?
I feel like there's multiple meanings, man. Because like I think there's like, it's gonna sound weird, but to me, I think there's like different tiers of success, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, me keeping a roof over my family's head, to me, that's just being successful. Making sure my wife's straight, my daughter's straight. That's cool.
Yeah.
To me, that's the basic level of success, right? If you will. Then there's doing what you do for a living, like doing this here, making content and doing it for a living and just pumping out like fire shit. That's another level of success for me. You know what I mean? And right now, as much as I would want to do the content creating thing, and I feel like that bar, I feel like low key, I think it's right there. But I'm cool with making sure the family's straight and doing, the day job or whatever for the rest of my life. But as long as they're straight, I'm cool with it.
Damn, you're a family man.
I am. I'm all about family, dog.
That's good, man.
Shout out Vin Diesel, but it's the family. It's family first, like, and that's like the quote with our company, man. It's family first. Whatever you got to do with your family, make sure they straight, and then we'll come back to whatever we got to do later.
I think, and this is not even in the questions, but it's off topic. But I've met your wife before, and you y'all been together since high school.
High school.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Since high school. She's been on my ass ever since, man, for sure. Keeping me straight.
What grade?
I was I pulled up to her school. I was junior year. She was a freshman.
Wait, what? You one of those? Nah.
No, go ahead. I know my friends is calling me Kels, all that shit. Like, Kels or something. I'm like, yo, relax. And then senior year, obviously she was a sophomore, and then like.
Nah, it's funny though. It's different outside of high school. You know what I'm saying? Or like in your 20s.
Exactly.
30s.
In your 20s, like, she's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
But in school, it's kind of like.
Yeah.
It's one of them. Yeah, I was that guy. I was that guy. And we both hooped too. So like she hooped.
Shit, yeah.
I hooped and yeah.
Where'd y'all go?
This is a charter school or Jubilee.
In here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
I
usually claim Judson just because like that's where I went to most of my years. But yeah. And it was crazy. It was crazy too, because like, I'll be honest, like high school was rough for me, man.
For real?
Yeah.
Like, just being bad kid or what?
Like, nah, I'll be honest, I really wasn't a bad kid. It was just, man, this is gonna be crazy because like I never really talk about this, not like on here or like on any platform, but like
it's exclusive.
No, for sure. For sure. It was
this is an open space.
Yeah, and I hope people don't judge me neither for it either. But
hopefully this is good. You're building this up to something.
I know. It's crazy because I'm nervous even bringing it up, man. I feel like I can't even look at you because it's like, bro. But like,
go ahead.
Not saying my childhood was rough at all, because my childhood was great. But there was times where depression really kicked my ass at one point.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Early on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even realize what depression is till recently, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it kicked my ass for a lot, because there was times where I feel like, how can I say this? It went from really affecting my grades at school, trying to get help, with teachers and things. And this is like a Judson story. There was so many kids in one classroom. It was like 35, 40 kids in a classroom.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's not my freshman and sophomore year.
That's crazy. Usually it was like 25
right.
at most.
No, we had like 35, 40 kids in the classroom.
Damn.
And there'll be times where I'm struggling and I'm going to go ask for the teacher. And it's like, yo, if you ain't keeping up, then I don't know what to tell you.
So, yeah.
You just either fall behind or you get the help you need. I'm like, well, I'm coming to you for help. You know what I mean? But they like, I got 39 other kids that I got to take care of. What you want me to do?
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn. So then, of course, I go try to, tell my mom. She working as much as she could, coming home late. Because at this time, my parents were divorced. So my dad was off doing his thing. My mom was, working, trying to make ends meet. And I didn't want to bother her. So, of course, I'm like, yo, mom, I need help. Like, well, okay, we'll go to tutoring for school. I tried.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, well, we'll look for something. That something never came. So I'm just kind of just like, well, fuck, I guess I'm just going to fall behind. And I'm going to be this 19-year-old that I know that should have graduated 2 years, a year or two ago, and he's still taking freshman classes. I'm going to be that guy now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit was really stressing me out. Then, of course, there's the he says, she says shit. High school drama, you know what I mean? I get caught up in a bunch of shit like that. Now I'm fighting. You know what I mean? Fighting former friends that I went to middle school with, but they talking shit because they want to be a part of the cool crowd. Yeah. So now I'm losing friends one by one. Now I'm by myself. Nobody to talk to. So I'm just there at my house playing the PS2 and the Nintendo 64, having these issues, and I'm not talking to nobody. Shit built up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, bro. I didn't think you were about to say that. But dog, yeah, I can relate to that, man. This recently, not when I was younger, and it's crazy to think that you felt that when you were younger. Just because,
15 years old, going through that, 15, 16, which I'll be honest, no kid should ever have to go through that. And
especially by themselves,
right?
Navigate it by themselves,
right?
Yeah,
and especially when this wasn't even a thing. You know what I mean? Being depressed or whatever, and it was rough to where I'm not gonna say the rest of it, but I had to move. And I stayed with my dad. They knew it was going to help the situation. Went to a different school, went to Clemens High School. And shit ended up being the same thing. My dad was working. He was gone. So here I am with an apartment by myself. Me and the PlayStation. Me and GTA San Andreas. NBA Live 2005. And Rap City getting me through life.
The tough times.
Yeah. Then I went back and moved with my mom for a little bit. Then went back to move with my dad and his girlfriend. And that's how I ended up going to the school and meeting wifey over there. And I don't think I ever told her this, but she's probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me, meeting her. And, changed me for the better. I tell her that all the time, but she has changed me for the better. Really, really held me down for sure.
I can see why y'all lasted so long, though.
Nah, for sure. She's for sure.
And she goes everywhere with you.
Everywhere.
I think every spot, every time I've fucked with you, she's been there too.
She's been there. Yeah, for sure.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Dog. I'm gonna be real. Like I said, I was not expecting that. But I wanted to ask you, and I made this video and I haven't released it yet, but on it, it asks what got you out of anxiety or depression. So what would you say? I mean, did high school just kind of fly by and then from there you met her, or was there other things just building up to it where you were able to kind of lift yourself up, or was just always?
I'll be honest. I think it's this stuff. It's content creation stuff.
Yeah.
As long as I'm busy and not having an idle mind, I'm good.
I'm same way, man.
Because I think an idle mind is a dangerous place to be for sure. It can get scary because I know my brain is running all day on ideas that I want to create and make happen, and I feel like I tell Skrills all the time, and he kind of agrees with this too. Where we both feel like, yo, this isn't fun anymore. It's gonna come to an end. It's gonna come to a stop. But in my mind, I'm like, what am I gonna do if this does come to a stop? So in my mind, I feel like I have to make this work.
Oh yeah.
Because if this doesn't work, what am I doing? And there's been times where I've asked myself, what's my purpose here? And I think that's everybody in life. What's their purpose in life? And I still deal with those questions, and I'm kind of like, yo, what am I? Hoop dreams didn't work. So then, of course, I gained weight and all that. So I'm definitely not hooping now. You know what I mean? The music scene, that didn't work for me. So I feel like that's strike two. Here I am at, my third attempt and trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
What am I doing? So now I'm like, okay, if this doesn't work, then cool. I'm just cool being a mailman for the rest of my life.
I think it goes back to what you told me earlier, man, that you're doing it. I think there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't even attempt to do the first thing, the hooping. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't even get to the content creation the third time.
Yeah.
I think for me, that's why I keep pushing. It's just what you said earlier, the what if, as far as I would rather live with the oh well than the what if, 100%. Just doing it till I can't fucking do it no more.
Facts.
Yeah. And I think a lot has changed. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, and there's people that get tired of me talking about it, but man, it was just a pivotal time in my life, and it taught me so many things. Whether if it was family and friends, whether if it was just mentally. And I told this to my girlfriend. Obviously, I was in the hospital for 40, 50 days, and I think if I was put in the hospital and that happened to me 5, 10 years ago, I probably would have died because it's all fucking mental. Like, obviously, I wanted to be, I wanted to get out of there as quick as possible,
For
but
sure.
for both of us, I feel like we're always just going, right? Just going. And that put me in a spot where I couldn't go. And I had to rely on somebody where I wasn't doing anything. So putting trust in somebody else to
Right.
take care of you, especially whether it was my girlfriend, my mom, the nurses, was fucking hard, dude.
I believe
And
it.
it was trust that had to happen instantly because you had to get better. That was the only
sure.
thing, right? Like they were the ones that did it. But yeah, man, not a lot of people get that far, dog.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And you're not old, bro.
I appreciate it. My body feels it, but mentally, like I feel like I'm young. But yeah,
I always like Gary Vee, and he tells this, and it probably sounds annoying. People make fun of him when he says this, but he always like talks to like he has like conferences, and
for sure.
people go up to him and they're like 50 years old, and he's like, "Dude, you're so young." But I don't know about 50 years old, but I mean like
50's
20,
crazy.
30, 40 maybe, but 50, yeah, you up there.
Yeah, nah, for sure. But nah, I commend you for, even continue, even throughout your situation
Oh yeah,
to
dog.
continue to, keep doing this. And because you could have easily been like, yeah, nah, I'm checked out.
I did. I was.
Yeah,
I was.
I believe
yeah.
it.
I didn't want to do any of this shit, dude.
So,
Like,
but
yeah, I didn't
Shorty
wanna-
convinced you to keep going?
Nah, it was me.
It was you?
I think I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give her credit. she's probably gonna get mad that I said that. That I said that pretty quick. But I'm not gonna lie. She just same thing. Like if you're not happy doing it, you don't have to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for the longest time, starting this and going out through the whole journey, just the impact that people have seen, and me telling my situations on camera and having the courage to say it. There's people out there that might listen, they might not, but the people that do listen, it changes their fucking lives. And I'm like, fuck, there's people out there that not only rely on me, which is something that I take dear to heart, but just
For sure.
putting out content that relates to the everyday people was my main focus back then, and it's always going to be my main focus. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it,
Yeah.
and we're gonna fucking bring Mazi for episode 1. So
And I appreciate that. It means
Yeah.
a lot, man.
yeah,
And like I said, like it's I kind of wanted to also give you your flowers, and that's why we, over at the OCD, we was watching you. It was like, yo, he's talking to the everyday person, and that's about as authentic as you could get. You know what I mean? Relatability is like the number one thing you can do, and the fact that you're just being authentic to your audience and of who you are as a person. And not, matter of fact, let me ask you this question because
Yeah.
I kind of just started getting this recently, but you being, who you are with this platform, do you feel the pressure of people saying like, yo, I watched your show and what you did for me was, you helped me pull me out of this situation, or you done this for me to where you kind of motivated me to get back to what I'm doing. Is there some type of pressure that you feel to keep doing this?
I would say 50-50 off the top of my head, like first answer.
Mm-hmm.
And the 50-50 comes from sometimes you can't let just you got other shit going on in your life, right? So you
Right.
can't really people can't really dictate how you feel depending on how they feel.
For sure.
So that's my first point. The other point is, yeah, I want to help people. I want to help people as much as I can. But it gets to a point where at some point these people got to help themselves.
Right.
And if they're not helping themselves, then what the fuck are we even doing at this point? Like, why am I even creating content? That's the whole thing, right?
Right.
At least for me, getting on this platform and telling people what to do, how to do it, why they should do it. I think at a certain point, hopefully they get the message and it starts to click and then they do it by themselves. But
Yeah.
pressure, I'll be honest, man, this is going to sound real selfish, but if it's not me, my friends, my family, this platform, people that are really close to me, people that I actually fuck with and I care with and that I know personally, man, it gets tough to actually even feel any pressure from that because
Yeah.
it's not my inner circle and what I just said.
For sure.
So, like I said, it's 50-50. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man.
I feel it.
I have to I have to pick and choose, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like,
you
do I, this is going to sound fucked up, but fuck it. Do I even care enough to actually do this? Do I even
Right.
care enough to actually respond? Do I even care enough? Like, whatever the situation is, do I even care enough for this? And that's where I kind of draw the line is, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it whichever way I'm going to do it. If
Right.
not, then I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's just comes with a lot of things. Just over the years, I'm sure you know not to pay attention to certain shit.
Oh yeah.
Feeling the pressure. I'm sure you feel the pressure as far as releasing episodes that do well, and then you got some that don't do well, like you were saying, the Instagram reels. So that might produce some pressure.
For sure.
Me, man, I'm still getting like close. I think my highest view right now on YouTube is like maybe like 4,000 or 5,000. My highest like Instagram reels maybe like 5,000. So it's like I start to not to care, but then I'm like, fuck, I really want this shit to pop off.
Yeah. Same.
I really want this shit to fucking pop off. So I'm like,
yeah.
I got to do whatever to do it. I don't know if I can kind of say the same thing as far as like this has to work, because I don't know. Maybe I'm not that invested in this yet.
Really?
Which I should.
I'll be honest, I can't tell. By the quality of the show and what y'all bring to the table, I feel like y'all do.
Yeah. Sometimes. It's hard, man. Like I said, it's hard.
It is.
When we first met outside, I was like, fuck, I was stressed just because like, one, it's Mazi. Two, the setup. So I'm, you just get in your head about, and plus I haven't done this since with an actual guest. I done one last year, midsummer with my girlfriend, but I haven't actually done this conversations winter of 2023. So it's been a year and some change. So it's like, fuck, dude, I almost forgot like a memory card at home. So it's like, I'm starting to get back into it. But
routine for sure.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things where I really don't feel the fucking pressure sometimes, but sometimes I do. So
I feel it.
Yeah, but it's a lot of grinding, man.
It is.
It's a lot of grinding.
A lot of grind for sure.
I wanna bring you to Skrills, man. Just real quick section on him, just because I feel like he's a big part of the team.
Facts.
But how much does he grind on a daily basis?
Oh my God. Where do we start? Like, she over here laughing right now.
Other than, does he have like a 9 to 5?
He does have a 9 to 5.
Fuck. Okay.
He does. That's the crazy part. He has a 9 to 5, and his sleep schedule is trash.
Yeah,
I will tell you right now, because staying up. Let's see, like his sleep schedule is like. He sleeps like from 5 to 6. He texts us at 3 a.m. talking about good morning. It's like we'll hit him with a question at like maybe like 9, 10:30, and there's no response, and we're like, I was like, oh, okay, he's asleep, forget it. Because he'll put the kids to bed, and when he's put the kids,
the whole family too.
Oh, what?
Damn, man.
Absolutely, wife and 2 kids, man.
Got both family, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. No, I'm just saying it as in y'all do got a 9 to 5 job, you do got a family, and on top of that, the content is there.
Exactly.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. He'll put the kids down like maybe 8, 9 o'clock, and he goes to sleep with them. Then he's like, oh shit, we gotta wake up. And then he'll hit me back in the group chat at 3 in the morning. Good morning, y'all. And of course, we're pretty much in the temporary sleep, temporary sleeping and all that. Temporary coma, if you will. But so yeah, I wake up 8 in the morning, and he sends me, reels or whatever to post up. If he doesn't post them, we're scheduled, because he has to log into my IG and then do like the schedule of posts and things of that nature. And then he goes from 9 to 5, from 8 to whatever. That's if he went back to sleep. Sometimes he'll wake up at 3, editing stuff for the show, and then clock into his job. And then when he gets out of work, goes picks up the kids from school, make sure they're taken care of, and then
Do you?
Meanwhile, riding a 16 with his ass.
Do you know some of the software? Like, what is he editing? Like,
man,
Adobe?
I try. Does
he do Adobe though?
I think he does.
Okay.
He has the Adobe Premium. Okay.
Do you like know any of the software, or you just kind of leave it up to him?
I leave it to him.
I would.
I try.
He's good as fuck.
Yeah. So look, I try multiple times. Like, yo, I'm willing to learn whatever it is that way I can help you out, so I can take some of the the heavy lifting off you. Yeah. And he's like, bro, even if I would have hired a whole editing team, I feel like I can't teach you what I see. You know what I mean?
That's the man.
you know?
That's the
And
vision.
I'm like,
fuck, dude, that's crazy.
yeah. He was like, I could show you what you need to do, but I can't teach you what I see. Only you see what you could see here. So like, if I were to give you a clip, you'd be like, okay, well, I think this is dope here. I think this is dope this way. You know what I mean? But he see things a lot different. So it's kind of like, okay. He's like, bro, he's like, just be the front man, dog.
Yeah.
So, ta-da.
I find it hard to do that too sometimes, man. Teaching people things.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those. It's one of those things, man, where I'm like, fuck, you should just figure it out yourself because I've gotten this far, and then the other side of me is like, fuck, I should probably teach him because it's gonna give that lighter load for me.
For sure.
Come content day or whatever.
Right.
It's just fuck, dude. Yeah, but that's dope, man.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
I tried multiple, like I said, I tried multiple times where I'm like, yo, let me help you. And he's like, bro, don't worry, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. And I'm like, but you don't understand. Like in my mind, I'm worried about him at times.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, your sleep schedule's trash. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna be all right. He's like, no, bro, I got it. Like I'm straight.
Yeah.
The OCD. Exactly.
Yeah. I just felt like he needed that section. And I love to one of these days.
Listen, he told me he wanted to be here. He was like, bro, he's like, that's today. Because I told him, I was like, I'm going to Ginn podcast later. He was like, that's today? Oh, bro, tell him I said what's up. You know, he's like, I wish he could have been there. But yeah, he's out of town.
One of the questions that I was asking you coming upstairs is like, why is he never on camera?
That's his old shtick, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I would want him to come here so we can have this conversation. I just want to pick his brains, bro. Like that, I'm just curious about that guy. You just never see him, and I know. I mean, obviously, I met him. I know who he is.
Yeah, yeah, that's his thing. He's like, bro, no, Mazi'S the guy. I'm just behind the scenes, man. Because even we took a shout out Crazy on the Ground. He's a big photographer out here that really takes shouts out the community and what they're doing. He tried to take a picture of Skrills, and Skrills was like, hold on. He just put his hat on the desk and take a picture of the hat, and I'll sign it.
Skrills was here.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
The OCD logo on the front, Mazi'S wrote on the side, and he just signed the picture. And he was like, yeah, that's me.
Fuck it. Hey, I'm with it, man. I know he's there. I know what he's capable of. So it's always dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with some questions I like to ask in the beginning and the end, but mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whichever one you want to answer, 1 through 10, where you at and why you at? Why you at that score?
Mentally, 7 out of 10. You know, between what we do and the 9 to 5, it can get a little stressful at times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But today I'm having a pretty good day. So it's at a 7 for sure. Physically.
Up there.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, man.
I mean, score-wise, down there.
Yeah, score-wise is down there, man. My body's feeling it, man. And I know there's people in the comments, oh, get in the gym. Man, whatever. I'll get there when I get there. But I'm straight, man. As long as I wake up in the morning, take my daughter to school, make sure wife's straight, all that, I'm fine. But if I had to put a number on it, I'll say about 7 as well, 7 to 10, 7 out of 10. For sure. Spiritually, definitely 8 out of 10.
You go to church?
I need to go more.
No, I'm just asking. I don't go.
You don't go? Oh,
yeah, but I'm a bad person, man.
You're not bad, man. We're not going to church.
I do watch it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch it online. And I was telling actually the guy, I was having a conversation with this guy that owns this, and I was telling him I get the same, it's gonna sound weird, kind of crazy. I get the same sensation, feeling that I get watching it online versus being there. And another thing, I don't like people, dog. Like I'm an introvert.
You an introvert for real.
I don't like people. So I'm like, I'm not going there to fucking touch hands and shit.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like, how you doing, neighbor? And you're like, hey, how you doing?
I'm not with that. So I'm like, I'm just gonna watch this shit at home, bro.
Nah, I feel you. Yeah, I'm about an 8 out of 10. I do need to go back to church more. At first, there was one part where I was like I was more or less, instead of going on Sundays, I was going on Wednesdays, like during the Bible study nights and all that. And that was good. I feel like that was a good cleanse, you know what I'm saying? But lately, I've just kind of just been having my own spiritual connection with the big man.
Shit, man. Just to add to what I said, I have a buddy that he told me recently, he's like, dude, if you do it every day, if you pray every day, I mean, kind of doing it spiritually already.
That's true.
He said, I would rather you do it every day, whether if it's pray, whether if it's talk to God, whatever, than go to church on Sunday and don't do any of that throughout the week.
Exactly.
So I'm like, well, fuck,
Yeah,
I'm doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, I'm sure they don't want you to be a part-time
Exactly.
prayer. You know what I mean? When you can just be, you know, talking to the big man on a daily basis. And I know me personally, I know I got to get better on just praying, just to pray and be like, hey, instead of praying when times are bad.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, you know, tend to be like, oh, well, God, why is this happening? Just like, when
Shit,
you could just be, hey, thank you for waking me up, good morning, you know, this morning, today, and keeping it moving.
That was me for the longest time, dude. It's terrible. I was a terrible person. But that's a different story.
Man. Nah, man. It's just, you know, just roadblocks, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is, roadblocks. And look at you. You're here now.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dog.
And that's what matters, man. The fact that you're here, you're moving, and looking good. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. I'm on a diet right now. Does it show?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was gonna say, what's the diet looking like?
I just lost like 3 pounds. It's been like 3 weeks.
But that's progression, though.
Yeah.
Versus none.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, just take that into consideration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just messing with you, dog. Shit, dog. I'm gonna cap it right there, man. I just first want to tell you the middle section that we went through takes a lot for you to actually say that. So you taking your time to actually say it and having the courage to say it on this platform means more to me than you even showing up, dog. So I fucking appreciate that so much. From the bottom of my heart, bro. I appreciate it. Just because it shows, just like we were talking about earlier, the daily person that sees this, that knows your platform, that sees everything that you're putting out, knows that you went through that, I promise you it's going to change someone's fucking life. So I appreciate it, man.
I feel like I can only tell it here. I feel like you are the only person that, with this type of platform and the things that you do, I think is, you know, I feel like I should have said it. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, I still go through it on a day-to-day. But, you know, it takes time. It you know, just every you know, it's baby steps, day by day. And it gets better for sure.
Yeah. Dog, Mazi, I appreciate you showing up.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
This is crazy. This was, like I said, this was season 5, episode 1. We kicked it off fucking strong. I'm not even sure. My bad for even saying this, but
grand opening, grand closing.
My bad for the other guests that are gonna be on season 5 seeing this shit. But damn, dude.
No, man.
This was fucking icing on the cake for me, man. I appreciate you showing up. If anybody doesn't fucking know, if anybody wants to find you, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me at Mazi'S official, Mazi. No, I'm not gonna do that tag, but MaziWorld official. You know what I mean? I'm terrible. I'm my mind right now.
Follow OCD.
Yeah, follow the OCD Creates as well. You know what I mean? If you want to talk to Skrills, he's there. He may not show his face, but he's there.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, check us out every Wednesday, Mazi'S World Live on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and TikTok and all that.
Let me say this before we end this.
Yeah.
These guys put out content damn near every fucking day. So in my head, I'm like, I don't know if there's a way to keep up with these fucking people. I really don't fucking know. So yeah, we're gonna end it there, man. Like I said, I appreciate you coming by. If there's anything you ever need from me, dog, hit me up. Let me know. Man. Yeah, we season 5, episode 1. Like, comment, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, podcast, everything, man. I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. Got more episodes coming out. Peace.
Peace.